to another episode of Along the River. I'm Alex Herzog and I'm your host today. And with me is Nick Kiloski, the owner of Time Out in town here. Nick, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, we couldn't, you were a great person to pull, and I appreciate your time today. Nick, you were just telling me that you're a graduate of Stevens High School, correct?
Yep, 96.
And a resident for all your life?
Yeah.
Wow, so you grew up here?
Yep.
Well, that's awesome.
Fourth generation.
And you did something at high school that kind of led to your career in the restaurant business. What was that?
So the culinary arts program that's in this facility, I actually was a graduate of that. So 2 years in that program, and then the school put together, because of our interest, a third-year program. So that was more the ordering, inventory, kitchen management side of things, overall restaurant management. And because of that program and the school's willingness to do that for a few of us, I wear the hat I do now, owning a restaurant.
Well, you wore a bunch of different hats, and I can't wait to address those. But that's great to hear that here you are, a graduate of the Tech Center, and you're back on. And I know that Chef Kanu also has you on her program advisory committee, at least by name right now. So as we get ready to do our renovation in that kitchen, you'll get more involved with that, I'm sure.
Cool.
So your other hats, you're a on-call fireman, right?
Yeah, call firefighter for the city of Claremont for the past 11 years, I believe.
Awesome.
Yep.
And city council member?
Yeah.
Wow, and how long have you been doing that?
12 years. This is the 12th year.
Well, fantastic. And then in your own way, a community activist, because tell us about what your family does with Time Out and people in need.
So my mom and I own and operate Time Out Americana Grill. And prior to that, we had another restaurant for 10 years in Claremont. And we've always been big on well, we say people over profit. And it's when somebody needs something, we're trying to fill that need. And it started off with holiday meals, where we would open our doors and offer a meal to anyone that needed it. And that kind of turned into a tradition for us. And that's kind of taken several different directions as far as the food pantry we operate. So weekly we have fresh produce. We post about it online, what that current week's offerings are, and people can come down and get what they need.
What a great service. Thank you for doing that. That's important. And I think it feels like it's the soup kitchen might feel judgmental in some cases. I don't think that if anybody needs being judged, but I think that some people may think that. And so it's a good opportunity for another outlet for them to get on.
It's kind of a stigma-free environment where...
Thank you for saying that. Yes, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, it actually comes across as somebody's just picking up curbside food to go.
That's fantastic.
You know, it's not our business, not anyone else's business. You just grab and go.
And now with the COVID kind of ending here, or in our phase where we're kind of opening things up a little bit, the state's allowing some, the Escape Factory, that's another business part of your Time Out, right?
Yep. That's a 3-year endeavor now. And we're kind of testing the waters to see if people would come to Claremont, New Hampshire for some recreational amusement. And that has turned out really well for us.
So explain it to us, Nick. What does somebody do that comes to the Escape Factory? What's the process and what happens?
So we built very large, expansive spaces that can hold, up to 20 guests. You don't have to have 20 guests. We see 1 or 2 people come through to play a game, but it's the equivalent to being in just a giant built-out environment. So our most popular game is the abandoned subway, where you actually are in a subway car that we built. It's in the building, and you have to work through puzzles to solve a certain, mission within that game in a 60-minute time frame. So companies use that, people use it for birthday parties.
It's a good team building activity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? For corporations or businesses that want to kind of build that camaraderie, teamwork.
And we see companies as far away as New York coming to us. And on the tourism side, we've seen, as of last year, we saw all 50 states visit us.
Wow, great.
And 6 countries. So kind of the testing the waters really proved a lot to me that, people seek out fun and, welcome to Claremont.
No, that's great. And you're located at the old shoe factory, correct?
Yep, Topstone, it's a Topstone mill, but it was originally a shoe manufacturer.
And what's the address, just so we could get it?
101 Mulberry.
101 Mulberry. Now, my daughter says that there's a rumor that there's a ghost in there. Have you ever seen?
That may or may not be true. I'm not certain.
You might find it in the Escape Factory, is that what I'm hearing?
You may. It appears on an episode of Ghost Hunters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I didn't know that. That's wow. Unique and interesting. So lifelong resident, what's one of your favorite things about Claremont?
The people. I will tell you, anytime that I've asked for something of the community, there was a case where I was short sleeping bags that we send out to the shelter. And I put a request out for sleeping bags, and the following day, there were shipments dropped off at the restaurant. There were sleeping bags out front of the building itself. The same things happen when I've asked for socks or anything like that. Like, people are commonly step up just to help one another, and it's amazing.
Speaking of which, I didn't want to forget this. I know that one of the things you do is you help with medical equipment. When people, right now you're asking if anybody's cleaning out for spring cleaning, they have old medical equipment. How do they get that to you? What if they needed something? How do they reach out to you?
So we're currently still seeking out, like you said, medical equipment that has reusable life in it. This is something I started a while ago, and it was just discovering that, people were discarding stuff that still had life in it, and that we could rehome that to someone that couldn't afford a wheelchair, a hospital bed. So any of those items that are still out there and people don't know what to do with them, we have a loading dock drop-off down at the Topstone building, and I take those in and store them, and then area hospitals reach out, individuals. If you can't afford to purchase, we'll help you out and give you the item.
That's fantastic.
So we just ask that people can't afford the equipment and don't have the insurance to cover it. So in that event, that they're welcome to anything that we have for free.
Great, and I think that they have to come to you to get picked up, and you don't pick up things from houses, you ask for it to get delivered.
Yeah.
And I think that's a reasonable request. People want to kind of downsize their equipment that they don't need anymore. That's fantastic. Sounds like you're super busy in your life. That's awesome. You're doing some great things. But when you have rec time, as people are watching this, what does Nick like to do?
So I can be found out on the Connecticut River. So I will, having that in our backyard is just amazing. And the boat launch itself here. So I'm actually, another hat I wear is a location scout for TV and film. And a common theme in most of those feature films will be the Connecticut River, because there's this specific spot at the boat landing that I love. And I bring people down there, film producers, and they actually see what I see, and just the beauty and the bend of the river. And it's landed a few productions, let's say that.
That's fantastic. I love that Connecticut River. We're out there usually kayaking in the summer when we get a chance. I think it's one of the many wonderful things about this area that people need to take advantage of more. I really do truly that. Well, thank you for all your activism in this community, for helping people out when they need it. I really appreciate it. I think I speak for the entire community to say thank you for that. Keep up your good work in the city council. I don't want this to be a political thing, but we appreciate you stepping up. I think that kind of stepping up as a citizen and running for office is an important part.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks again. This is another episode of Along the River. Thanks to Nicholas Kiloski, Nick, for coming in today and talking about all the good stuff he's doing in the community. Hope to see you around town.